What's up? What's up? What's up? Ten Hut is a Ten Hut show with a side of whiskey. Go for it. Go for it. Do it.
I did.
No, you did it. It was low. It was low. Ah. What's
Well,
up?
salute, Ten Hut.
Salud.
I think
Hey, so today is part two of paranormal military stuff. And Jose is joining us today. He has some information about things that he researched and found out about, and
yeah.
it's in California.
Well, some of it, or one of
Uh,
them, is California. But
yeah,
first, because we are the Ten Hut show with the side of whiskey, next. I know that we're approaching the new year. We're approaching 2022. So I want to make that connection with our audience,
right.
and I can tell you that next year we're going to be doing a little bit more with the whiskey that we're drinking, a little bit more information about um, drink absolutely drinking responsibly, and also how to drink your whiskey, what's you know trying some new whiskeys here and there.
Right.
Actually, before the podcast started, I was telling Pedro that I found a link to an article that shows you the 50, it says the single best bottles of whiskey from each state. So it's 50 bottles of whiskey.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. So what I want to I'm going to try my hardest. I want
I,
to try
I want that for my birthday.
what?
It's December 27th.
All 50 bottles?
Yo, 50 bottles.
No. Well, what I want to try to do is starting 2022 is bring in one bottle of whiskey from every state
Yeah,
and then try it out, share it with the audience, and share the distillery, share the information, and any way, the best way to drink it.
yeah,
Because it could be old fashioned, it could be neat, it could be dirty, you know.
yeah.
So I
But
we want to implement more about the whiskey, be more whiskey connoisseurs.
I want to share something because it's still pretending whiskey was still in the liquor.
Yeah.
But I got these wrist beads, and it has this like a beer mug, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
they're gonna try to make one whiskey. So if you guys want one, let me know. They'll donate it. Whatever they make to sell, they'll donate it to Ten Hut. So
Yeah,
let
just
me
come
let me
over with
know.
a little bottle of whiskey or with like
Yeah, a little bottle of whiskey or beer.
yeah.
Beer mug. That was cool because I actually went to the Oktoberfest here in Texas, and it was pretty awesome. And I came across that, and I was like, "Wow, that's awesome." But anyways, going back to
Oh
your
yeah. Drink whiskey.
there we go.
There it
So,
is.
there you go. All right. So what you got, man? I want to know because I know last Thursday, I briefly talked with Will in regards of the experiences that we went through. Will is very I can say he doesn't believe in it, right? I do.
Very
Seen a lot,
skeptical.
very skeptical.
You know what?
What do you guys think? Are you guys believe in paranormal stuff, or it's just coincidence?
I'd like to come in from a very skeptical perspective,
Yeah.
but um, I I'm all for investigating. I mean, we did an investigation over at the LAPD museum
Yeah.
earlier this year. We have some more investigations that the TENHA team's going to be doing.
Right.
Yeah, coming up next year. Um, we definitely want to go explore anything out there in Texas. My wife and I are going to go to uh, some haunted places when we go to Hawaii. Uh,
Oh, you're gonna see some things, man.
yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing this podcast next week from Hawaii.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
What island?
that would be Oahu.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we hopefully we can book something along the same time that we either have gone already to a haunted place,
Yeah.
supposed haunted place, or if I can swing it, I'll be on site doing
you gotta look up. I think it's still called Oahu Ghost Tours, but one of them, and they'll take you around, like start seeing like blue red orbs at nighttime, and then they take you to certain places. You can start hearing like trumpets in the middle of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
Well,
they always took my life though.
so I do have a story like that about an orb that I'll tell towards the end. But
Yeah,
right now I want to talk about the at least the two haunted one haunted place here in California that's military based. It's a military base, and then another one that's over in Kansas. And the reason why, because apparently it's one of the most haunted military bases, U.S. Army bases in the U.S.
yeah.
Um, and
Hold on. So does the Air Force have haunted hotels?
I don't know.
I wish Will was here so we can ask him that. Well, go. All right.
I don't think so because they're all bougie. No one wants to arm themselves.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah, but all right. But since this is the second show, and we actually got some new piece of equipment and things like that, so um, we want to share it with the audience that the show is going to be as we grow, as we become better at doing this, we get new piece of equipment, we share it with you, and it makes hopefully it makes your viewing experience, your listening experience a little better. So
Yeah.
because we are doing a haunted paranormal podcast, sort of just telling stories,
Yeah.
bullshitting around. We should start this segment with creepy music, but yeah. So as I was doing my research on some of the paranormal places or military bases in the U.S., I found something very interesting. My wife actually belongs to or is in the reserves at March Air Force Base,
Mhm.
and I know what you're all going to think. There is a paranormal episode from a very well known paranormal team that did a an episode at the museum, the Air Force Museum out there at March Air Force Base in Moreno Valley. Um, but not, I don't know if a lot of people know, especially if you belong to March Air Force Base or anything, or you're a reservist out there. But the dental clinic there at March Air Force Base actually used to be it used to hold um, children with tuberculosis. It was
Mhm.
a tuberculosis ward for um, infants, children, teenagers,
Jesus.
minors,
Right.
and even further so. I don't. This is news. It was news to me, and it was news to my wife that there at that dental clinic, that building used the basement floor used to be the morgue. So
Damn.
at top you would have your and back in those days tuberculosis was huge, dude. It was uncurable. It was killing people left and right.
Yeah.
So just imagine this entire building full of um, children, infants, and adolescents with tuberculosis, you know, and then they didn't have to go too far to go to the morgue. Just put them in the basement, and
Just
they're
leave them. Yeah.
they are. Yeah. So
Jeez.
apparently there has been uh, some evidence or some people that work there
Mhm.
that have witnessed uh, some shadows, some paranormal activity, children laughing when there's no children around, even though it's like a dental clinic. Um, Mostly adult service members go there. So if you're hearing a child running around in the hallway while you're knocked out and being
Jesus.
having it might be the anesthesia, but it could also be that there's ghost children running around
Yeah.
there at March Air Force Base. But then there's this one that keeps happening. It keep occurring in the research that I was doing, that there's a teenage girl that is seen has been seen talking to herself, and
Wow.
when she turns around, she has like a very disfigured face.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get, you know, frightened because of that.
Yeah. Damn.
Um, yeah, so I'm interested to possibly do something, an investigation there, but
Yeah.
I know because it's a military installation, you have to jump through a lot of hoops.
You
Um,
gotta get the approval and everything. Yeah. So
yeah, but there was, I mean, there has been some paranormal teams that have investigated, but I don't think they've ever investigated the clinic.
yeah.
I know that because the museum is actually like open to the public and things like that, that
Right.
one's a little easier. But to get into the military installation, it might be a little harder. It might take um,
Well,
someone
well, if the
someone
done,
actually.
yeah, but it could. I mean, you just probably need the program manager to allow you to get in there, because I know, at least if I'm not mistaken, that the dental building, it's outside of the base, but I could be wrong, because the way it's designed, it's just kind of like
I haven't been
this.
there. I've
But
been there.
it's, yeah, it's been a few years I've been there, so maybe Amy knows, so she'll let you know. So
Yeah, my wife
otherwise,
might know. So
yeah,
yeah, definitely. Maybe that's our way in, where
yeah,
I asked my wife to get commander approval
yeah.
and do a small segment.
You
That
know,
would be
I
pretty.
I want to add something. So this kind of reminds me of a story that I was told when I was in Hawaii. I It was near the Hawaiian Pacific University. So they had like little satellites, and then it was like right in Honolulu. And so this guy was we were talking, we were chatting, and he said that, yeah, this building. I don't know if you ever been to New York when they have those old school elevators that actually like take you up to, like, someone is there with you taking you up, and they actually move like the handle to take you up and down through the elevator. Have you
Oh
ever seen them? Oh,
yeah,
you've seen them?
yeah.
So this I was talking to that gentleman, right? Because he was actually operating that when I was there. I was like probably 2007 or 8. So, anyways, he was telling me that there's people has been freaking out in that building, because when they go to the basement, that's where they use the restroom. And there was this one guy that came up to him, and he said, "Hey, I was using the bathroom, and then a few minutes later, I hear a knock, and there was this little girl saying, 'I have to use the bathroom.' And then she kept insisting. So after the fourth time, he was like, all right, I'm gonna get out right now." So he goes and, hurries up and get out of the bathroom, and he opens the door. There's no one there. And he just like, what the heck? And so when you go into, because I've been to that bathroom too, and I actually, the way the corridor is, like, the way it is kind of like a maze to get to the bathroom. And the lights are flickering as well. So it's like, it's so creepy, bro. It's like going into like Silent Hill little
Yeah,
hallway or something. So but yeah, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, this guy freaked out. He said, I seen some things, but because I've been working here for so long, it's like I don't pay mind to it. But the people
yeah,
that people has been like, like new to the building, or they're just coming in for some retail, because there's like retail stores in there, and they're like, they'd be just freaking out, like, what the heck was that? Especially in the basement, he says. So yeah, that just reminds me of the same thing. Just imagine a girl walking and talking to herself, and all of a sudden she disappears, or once she turns into the corner, turn on the corner. So it's like, what the heck?
yeah,
So yeah, but that's as an intense as the I'm sure it'll be fun and intense for us to go and investigate. Yeah.
yeah. I'm down for any investigation. If somebody wants to allow us, give us access. Remember, we this podcast is an informative podcast for veterans, but we also wanted to make it interesting and watch worthy for y'all.
Yeah.
And we are a nonprofit organization. So if you want to allow us to a haunted place, just remember that we're a nonprofit organization, and we're
Yeah.
bootstrapping the shit out of this
Yeah,
nonprofit.
but don't try to send us to like in the middle of nowhere where there's no connections, communications to the outside world. If it is, if there isn't, let us know. We'll bring some satellite phones or something.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. The second place
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting to me because I didn't know, although I've never been to Fort Leavenworth.
Hmm.
I was doing some research, and like I mentioned earlier, apparently it's one of the most haunted U.S. military bases in the U.S. And I could see why. I mean, it was um, like it's one of the oldest ones. It's
Yeah. There's a lot of history there, so
yeah,
yeah.
they they have prisoners there from World War II. There's 14 prisoners every hour put run out of. Yeah, it's just it's and there's a cemetery there. I don't know if it's like an older cemetery, not where they currently
Yeah.
bury people, but it's there's a cemetery there that's still in place from like World War II. So I can
Yeah.
see why that place would be haunted.
Well, here's my question. So, a lot of, you get a lot of different mixed, feedback on people experiencing paranormal. But what if someone who dies because of natural causes or commits suicide or something, does their energy get stuck there? Does their spirit get stuck there that they can actually, leave at all? Because you ever seen Insidious,
Insidious.
the movie Insidious with the kid, and his dad had to like go through. I guess he had to go to sleep to go into the underworld, and then he had to get his kid. It kind of makes me think because even at the jail place, one of the crew members, right? He said that he felt someone grab his shoulders and in a cell, and he literally sat him down. You know,
Oh yeah,
So it's like I,
yeah.
I guess,
I, that's where my skepticism lies, bro. It's
yeah,
like we don't know for sure what happens to us when we die. There's no definitive answer, you
hmm
know. And all of these paranormal investigations that people do, and evidences uh, of whatever it is, whether it's voices that you hear or recordings of voices on some,
yeah,
all of that to me can have several possible, like endless possibilities. It could be like you mentioned, energy, but no one can give you a definitive answer.
hmm
No, we just know that these phenomena are strange and unexplained. There's whether you can't explain what you recorded or you can and it was a hoax, but no one should be telling you exactly what it is because they don't know with 100% certainty.
yeah.
So
Okay, so here's a great question, right? So I remember one time you told me you went to. It was either you or your niece said, "Hey, I took a picture of. We were taking pictures, and then there was no kid there, and then after they got the pictures, it shows that there's actually a silhouette of a kid. I don't know if it was you or Naomi, but
it might have been my niece, but
yeah,
this is the thing. So I don't know if you've ever heard of, like, it could be an echo of some sort of energy. What you mentioned earlier. What it could, the other thing that could be in the realm of possibility is that at that specific time, moment in time, there was it split in or a connection with another dimension, and you just happen to capture the
hmm
position of a body from some other realm. There's, like I mentioned, there's so many possibilities,
yeah,
but what we do know for certain is that we can't explain it, and it's weird, and it's interesting, and that's why people uh, find like investigating it and just so alluring to it. You know,
yeah. No, I got you.
why
That's
I would never make. a statement to say, "Oh, I know exactly what it is," and it's a ghost,
Yeah.
because you don't know. You don't know if it's somebody that died and it looks exactly like them, or
Yeah.
we don't know what happens to us after,
Yeah.
and we don't know if it really is
Yeah.
them.
I was watching this old school horror movie. It's called The Right.
Oh yes,
Yeah. So it's like, it's those questions sometimes I ask myself, like, is there's such thing as, demonic possessions, you know, um, all those things, right? And it's like in that movie that, that one priest was trying to figure it out if he was actually bullshitting or it was just that person, that girl was just had some sort of mental issue.
and,
you know
and this might upset a couple of our viewers or whoever's watching
yeah.
this after or whatever. But if you take a look of all the supposed evidence of demonic possession that people have, it's like all from early 20th century, 19th century, you know, nothing from the 21st, at least from what I could see, from what I know,
Yeah.
it's all been from the past, from when mental health was not as prevalent and not as known or studied as it has been
Yeah.
within the last 2 decades.
Hmm.
From, I mean, Sigmund Freud and his theories that, from then on, he was a father of psychology, or
Yeah.
godfather of psychology, supposedly. Although he had some wacky ideas about
Yeah.
going the id, and anyways, we're not going to get into it. But to me, like, demonic possessions happen to be just undiagnosed mental illnesses with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, whatever it was. I
Hmm.
don't. I think it could be.
I mean, that's something that I think about it too, in reality no one really knows.
No, and
I mean, you think about it. Unless I'm not gonna put myself through that, but I can say, unless someone says I literally got to witness a demonic possession and things were levitating, then how you explain that? I mean, but yet to this day, I still haven't met anyone who has said that to me.
no,
Don't want to
and
experience it at all.
you get third person accounts about all of these extraordinary ability, or you know
Yeah,
extraordinary things that have happened. Like,
yeah,
oh no, she levitated from the bed, and she was speaking in tongues, and she spoke a different language that she didn't even know.
right.
Uh, so to, to me, when you're getting a watered down version, of someone else's account,
That's true. Yeah,
it just starts losing credibility.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's why, like, unless
Here's a challenge for well, not a challenge for the audience, but I think that if you have experienced something like extreme, like what we're talking about, or if you know someone, we would love to have them on the show because we will definitely would like to hear their experience, what they've been through. I mean, it's a lot. I
and
mean, I heard a lot of things from my folks, but then again, it's like, I don't know. I wish I had my grandfather to ask him, like, hey, because he had a lot of stories apparently. Yeah, but
and you know what? And one of the things, like, within the paranormal or within the unexplained realm,
yeah,
that I have heard, like, my family, like my older family, my mom, her brothers, and things and
yeah,
people like that, talk about, uh, like, seeing, like, flying saucers, and they've seen aliens. So that is more towards the realm of possibility for me than, uh,
spiritual,
yeah,
spirit type thing. Yeah,
spiritual or
yeah.
demonic possession. That to me
What if the alien possesses someone? There's the aliens that it's been aliens the whole entire time, and then using holograms, right? Like,
They're levitating them with their
Yeah,
mind from their
exactly.
ship above. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they do have big heads though, so they have enough energy to move things with. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, if you guys have any, if you guys have any, anyone experience something like that, we would love to interview you guys on the show because we want to know. I mean, I'm into that stuff too. I watch a lot of horror movies, but there's always that question like, "Man, what if?" Because you can see, like Annabelle, right? Like people have said, like this is the based on a true story. And then, and what makes me think is like, okay, there's so much, like when they had in their basement, I guess they have all these artifacts, these things. It's
yeah,
like, how do you know, like this thing is not going to escape? One day somebody just decides to like burn a house because they go crazy and say, oh, this entire house is just possessed or something, and they just light it on fire, but nothing burns, and then everything gets scattered, and it's like square back one to like starting over again, like the dog killing people and everything. But at the same time, it's like it's just, I mean, that's one thing that comes to my mind, but the other side is like, well,
the first thing people should look at is undiagnosed mental illness,
yeah.
and then go into other realms of like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with them. He seemed fine to me when I was doing the diagnosis, and then all of a sudden they walk into the house and then they start
Yeah.
acting a certain way, or if their head completely turns 180, and you're like, what the?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then then you should then you should kill it
You're
right
probably
away.
gonna clean your eyes like, well, hold on, what just saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But let me tell you about a an experience before we close out the show today. But
Yeah.
so um, my wife and I went on a haunted road trip for on honeymoon because it was mid-pandemic.
Sorry, I just getting a mosquito.
Mid-pandemic, we couldn't really travel anywhere, so we rented a car and we just drove.
Yeah,
And we went to several haunted places. We
that's so
ended up in
awesome.
Jerome. We
Yeah.
ended up in Jerome, Arizona. One of their haunted hotels up there. Anyway, on the last leg of our trip where we started turning back, because we headed into Oklahoma, as far as Oklahoma, and then started heading back.
Hmm.
Um, we actually got invited to go to a private event where they were going to be doing paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
It was just a very small group of people. It was at the McIntyre Villa in uh, Atchison, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so as they're doing these, EVP sessions where you're recording, you're setting a recorder down, asking questions, seeing it or listening for something that might come up on the recorder
Hmm.
when you didn't hear anything before. So we're up in the attic, and there's like 8 people in a circle, and the recorder in the middle, and we're all very quiet asking questions. And then they will bring back the recorder and play it back. So every like 2 minutes they would bring it back and play it again, see if they hear anything. And a couple of those times, as we're sitting there quiet, people asking questions, you hear a very, very distinct, like loud voice. Right. And we we at that time I was like, oh shit, what was that? Because I didn't hear anybody laughing, especially in that
Yeah.
tone of voice or anything like that. It was very, very. What
Yeah.
tripped me the fuck out that night was when we went down to the basement and it was pitch black. It was a huge basement. The basement had like 3 or 4 rooms, freaking huge.
Yeah.
Um, and we're pitch black, and they had what they call REM pods. It's like a little machine that if you walk above it or walk anywhere close to it, it lights up.
Huh.
It's a REM pod. So they had several of them going, and different rooms in the basement. I'm telling you, the basement was huge, and one of them kept going on. And to that, I attest like faulty equipment. You could always, when it comes to equipment, it could always be something. Even when we were upstairs and you hear this clear laughter, um, I don't know. You can somewhat probably explain it. It was recording over something was previously recorded, and
Yeah.
it could happen. It might have an explanation. What didn't have an explanation is, at least to me, it is pitch black. We're sitting in one of the rooms with one of the REM pods on the table, and there's about 4 or 5 of us, and the rest of them were upstairs. Um, and I shit you not, clear as day, dude. I see this blue orb come out of the ceiling
Wow.
and just hover around. And when I got up, because I was like, what the fuck was it? I got up and it just shot up to the ceiling and it disappeared.
You scared it.
But it scared me. I was like, what the fuck was that? And then it just shot up and it disappeared.
Yeah.
And I couldn't turn around, like I couldn't see anybody, but I was like, did everybody see that? And everyone was like, what was that? Like my wife was sitting right next to me. She was shocked
Yeah.
by what she just saw. And there was a couple people that were like, holy shit. And I remember the owner of the house came up to me and she's like, Jose, can you explain that? And I was like, and they turn on the lights. I'm looking at where I saw the light come out of, making sure that there was like no hole, maybe
Yeah.
uh one of
Like
those light
laser. Right.
or something that might have came down, but no, dude, I couldn't find anything.
Wow.
But
Well,
it,
the good thing it was a blue orb. If it was a red orb,
yeah, it wouldn't have shot up. It would have shot into my chest.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The power of Christ compels
How's
you.
you? Start throwing whiskey. All right. So, God, last one thing. Now here's my question to you guys. If you know anyone, now this is separate from what I was asking before, but if you know anyone that actually experienced having a doll and the doll's face or head moves, we want to know.
I
Get with
want to know
us.
any paranormal shit you've ever
Yeah.
experienced, especially if you've experienced it in a military base and military deployment. I know that we
Yeah.
said this before. Join us. I would love to either dissect your story or just listen to it and maybe do some creepy sound effects and give you an intro. Glass stereo clear. Give me that one too.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, take care and have a great weekend. Peace.
Salud. Drink responsibly.
Yeah, drink responsibly.